Hello and welcome back. We're in week 9 now. This is assignment 8 that I'll be demoing. And for this assignment, you are going to make a 10-second promotional spot for some kind of public place. Think of it as like a promotional video for a public spot. Could be a promotional video for a park in town. Could be a promotional video for a business, preferably a business of somebody you know who will give you permission. Or it could just be an outdoor public place and you want to promote it somehow. So we're going to do a 10-second promotional video spot. And so let's go ahead and just start our project here. I'm going to click New Project in After Effects. New Composition. For your preset, make sure you choose Custom. Our width is going to be 720. Our height is going to be 540. 30 frames per second is fine. Duration will be 10 seconds. Okay? So that's going to be our first comp there. Click OK. And what I'm going to do is I chose Monterey Bay Aquarium because I spend a lot of time there. I go there several times a year. I'm really fascinated with sea life and the visual splendor that is sea life. To me, that's proof that nature is the best artist. So what I'm going to do is bring in some clips that I've taken of ocean life at Monterey Bay Aquarium and use some blending modes to make them visually maybe a little more interesting in that way. I don't know. But let's try it. So I'm going to go up to here to File. For Comp 1, I'm going to go up to File. I'm going to import a couple of my clips. Here you can see my raw clips here in a folder called Monterey Aquarium Videos. And I'm going to start with a couple of clips here. Let's do, that's a nice one there. Let's grab that one. And you can see here, I'll bring it down here. It's a nice shot. It's a nice shot there for a nice promotional video. I really like the coral. But how can we make that a little more interesting and visually appealing? Well, maybe we can use a blending mode with another clip. So we're going to also bring in another clip here. Let's see what we can combine this with. There's a lot of good clips in here. So let's try maybe we could do some jellyfish there. That's kind of interesting. Let's try this one. Let's see what happens here. So I brought this clip in also. Let me turn this one off here and I'll turn the audio off. There's a nice little jellyfish there and some nice complementary colors going on there at the aquarium. I like how they do that. So taking these two, you can see we have two nice clips here. Let's go ahead and turn the audio off on each. We have this nice clip and then the one underneath it. Let's see if we can blend these and make something interesting. So up here on the top layer, make sure you click on the top layer. And then down here you click toggle switches and modes until you come to these where it says mode here next to the layer name. Instead of normal on the top layer, we're going to choose another blending mode here. Let's try Dancing Dissolve, for example. Okay. You can see nothing's really happening there. So let's try another one here. And here's darker color. And notice there it did change some aspects of the videos by blending the two. The problem is we don't have enough color variety in here. So let's keep going here until we find something that we really can utilize. That's kind of neat too. I really like how the jellyfish are blended in there. And if it's too much, you can even go in here into this top layer and bring down the opacity a little bit too. Oh, wrong one, I guess. Maybe the layer beneath it here. Go to Transform, bring down the opacity a little bit. And there you have a nice blend and effect like that. That's kind of cool like that. So the opacity changes can really help as well. All right. Other options would be you can change the order of these too. So I can bring this one up top. And let's go back to normal on the bottom and then do a blending layer on this top jellyfish layer. And notice there you start to get different effects too. That's kind of interesting. That's luminosity. Color, not so much there. Okay. Difference always yields some interesting results too. That's kind of interesting too. Saturation, let's try luminosity again. I really like that. That's interesting. Okay, so now what we can do is go in here. We can also mess with the opacity of that layer if it's too much, and then have it kind of blend in through there. That's kind of neat like that. Bring that down just a little more, and then you have a nice blend there. Other things you could do, you could try to play with the color by using an effect here. So if I go to my effects and presets up here, or you can access effects on the top here of the menus. But if I go here, I can go to color. Let's try color correction here. Open that up. And let's do, how about change color? So let's just grab this effect, and we're just going to drop it right on this top layer here. And here we can change colors. We can change the transformational aspects here. In this case, the top layer doesn't have any color, so we're going to have some trouble with that. So we're going to take this and drop it to the layer beneath it here. Or no, actually what we're going to do is delete that, and we're going to add this to the bottom layer and see what we can do here. Okay. Well, that's kind of interesting right there. It just kind of enhanced it a little bit. Okay. That's kind of neat. Okay. Here, color to change, that would be simply what color you're targeting. Let's go a little darker blue and see what we can do. Okay, let's bring that down a little bit. That's kind of neat too. Some nice effects there. And here we can add in some lighter tones if we're careful here. That's kind of neat too. So play around with the controls here, and you'll find some interesting effects here too. Change color, you can do corrected layer. If you choose color correction mask, you can see the contrast there. Okay, and you can change some of the characteristics there like so. But that looks pretty good. I like just leaving this kind of grayscale over the colorful background. Last thing I might do is play again with the brightness and contrast, so I'll grab that and drop that down as well. And again, just bring up the brightness a little bit more just to bring out the colors and increase the contrast. So that looks good. I'm going to keep that. So we'll call that Jellyfish Tropical. Alright, so that'll be comp 1. And let's do another one, same thing, 10 seconds, and do it in another composition by itself. So we're going to do a new composition. Okay, everything's the same, and we're going to, in this composition, do a new group of clips here. So File, Import. Let's go, let's see here, 2819 and 2818. Those are two good ones. Let's grab those two at the same time here. We'll drag these down to comp 2. And again, we have a nice shot of the crowd there in front of the jellyfish and shark tank. And then we also have underneath that a more close-up of the same tank. Let's see if we can blend those two. So let's try some blends here. There's pin light. Okay, not that interesting. Vivid light, not enough contrast. Okay, let's try lighter. That's not bad. Again, not enough contrast. Let's try linear dodge. Ooh, that's better. I like that. Kind of like just the blue too in it. That's cool. So that's good. I'm going to keep that one. And again, that's just blending the contents of the tank with the people in front of it in another shot. So that's good. We'll keep that one. Then the next one, let's do another composition here. I think I'm going to do about 2 seconds each on these. So I'm going to do maybe 5 of these blends. And let's try import files. I want to use this one again. I like that one. Just to see what I can do. Let's try... Ooh, let's try this one. I like these jellyfish here. That looks cool. I like these. So let's try this one. Let's try... Well, let's see. Let's try divide. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. Not what we were going for. That's a little too much. Oh, I love that. That's subtract. What I really like about that is the complementary colors that are going on. The orange and the blue hues are complementing each other a little bit. Let's try difference here too. It's pretty much the same. So I dig that. So I'm going to keep that. That's nice with some complementary colors there. Other things you can try doing an adjustment layer on this one too. So let's go up to layer, new adjustment, or Control Y. And on the adjustment layer, we can also start to apply some effects as well. For example, let's go to, let's try shadow highlight onto the adjustment layer. And see if we can notice any effects here. When we go to the effect here, you can see the controls are here, and they're also up above as well. Okay. You can see it creates a little bit of contrast. Let's try something else here. Let's go, we're on the adjustment layer. Let's try parenting these two. Well, let's just try another effect first here. Let's try perspective and see what we get. Let's see if we can add some sphere effect. Let's try that. Drop it in there. And notice there, it applies to the layers beneath it, but it's non-destructive as well. So that's kind of a neat setup there. Here we can adjust the radius like so. So that's a neat effect there. And then what we could do maybe is apply another layer into this. So let's go ahead and go File, Import, File, and let's grab one more. This one might be good because it's dark. And let's put that one, let's see, where is that? One's down here. Let's put it on the bottom. Or better yet, let's put it up above here, the adjustment layer, and then give that some kind of blending mode. That's kind of neat. Okay, kind of give it a global feel. Okay.
Hi guys.
That's kind of neat. I like that. So, but try all kinds of different blending modes, and you'll be really surprised
Hi
what
Ed.
you come up with. Let's see here. Let's try exclusion. It's kind of
Hi Hudson.
okay. Let's try another layer here. That one I'm not crazy about. Let's try maybe. Let's try this one again. We might be able to apply that by adding. Let's add, and on the adjustment layer, let's add an effect here and see if we can add something to it that way. Okay. That's kind of neat. Okay. Let's see what else we can do. That's kind of cool too. I love that. So there's a lot you can do with just using blending modes and effects as well as adjustment layers. So that's kind of neat too. Let's try difference. Okay, we have that's kind of neat too. I like that. Okay. All right, so that's kind of a neat effect, and maybe we can do something with that. So I'm going to keep that one. That's comp 3. So that's the idea here, though. I'm going to do a couple more of these. I'm going to do 5 total compositions of different effects, and then I'll come back and we'll bring it all together for a promotional spot. Okay, I'm back. So I have 5 comps here now. Here's comp 1, comp 2, some nice blends there, comp 3, comp 4, I really like the coral, and finally comp 5, right? So with all these now, I can figure out how to bring these into one layer. So let's do a new composition. So composition new, comp 6, same dimensions, same duration, and we'll bring our comp slowly into comp 6. So I'm going to drag comp 1 now into comp 6. And again, since I have 5 clips and I have 10-second duration here, I'm going to make each clip about 2 seconds. So watching this, I kind of like it from the beginning, actually. So we're just going to go maybe from here to there at 2 seconds. So I'm going to go right to, on comp 1, I'm going to go right to 2 seconds on my timeline. Choose Control-Shift-D to split it, or you can do it up here under Edit, Split Layer. Control-Shift-D, and I'm going to delete the rest of that. So here's what we have. We just have 2 seconds of this shot, which is fine. And now I'm going to bring comp 2 down and figure out what I want to use for this one. So let me turn the eyeball off on the top layer here. That's pretty good right there where the fish are kind of going through. So maybe about 1 second to 3 seconds is probably the best. Yeah, so I'm going to use that. So again, Control-Shift-D. Delete that, and then we're going to go up to 3 seconds here, do the same thing. Control-Shift-D. We'll delete the rest, and we'll just line this up for now. Hopefully we won't need to move things around too much. Okay, and let's see, let's do comp 3 next. We'll just do them in order. Then we'll move them around as we need to. We can even name these too. So this top one, comp 1, call that coral. We can name it up here. Or maybe not. Oh yeah, composition settings here. We'll call this one coral. Let's see, comp 2. Let's go back to comp 6 here. We'll go to comp 2. People and bubbles. Okay. So you can see it's updating on here too. And then let's see what comp 3 is all about. Comp 3 would be let's call that one planet. I like that. One planet. Okay. Let's see. I gotta go up here and do it, I guess. Okay, one planet. Again, we need 2 seconds of this. Maybe we'll do 3 or 2's good. Yeah, let's do 2. That's probably good right there. Control Shift D. Control Shift D. Okay, and then we got 2 more to see what comp 4 is all about. Let's call this. Start at about right there. I'll start at 8. We'll go 8 to. That's probably the best. Yeah, 8 on. Control Shift D. We'll delete the rest. Bring this over. We'll change that to psychedelic swimmers. Just to change the name if you want. So you can rename your compositions here too. It didn't go through. Okay, there we go. And then last one, comp 5. It's going to be our jellyfish kaleidoscope. Jayfish kaleidoscope, we'll say. So let's turn the eyeball off on these. Let's see where we can get the best effect here. That looks pretty good, really. I kind of like that right there. It's maybe from 7 to 9. So Control Shift D. Control Shift D. Okay, so we've got all of our clips. And this is not necessarily the order we want to have them in. And let's turn off the speaker on all these too. So let's do, I like that. That's not bad. Let's move this over too. Let's reverse. Let's see. And that one. So this one's going to go at the end. So let's bring this one down. One planet will go on the bottom at the very end. Let's try that. Should we get there? Okay. So you got these going here. That. Perfect. Okay. So the step after getting your blending modes going and your clips together is to figure out how you're going to arrange them. Then in the next part of the video, we'll see if we need to add any more transitions or effects, and then we'll add some text as well. Okay, once you have your video laid out, the next thing you might want to do is decide if you want to use any transitions. So you can try out transitions. Probably the best way would be to overlap your clips. And since this bottom clip starts at the beginning, I can't extend that out. But what I can do is I can bring this back over this way and extend it out on this side if I want. And then I can make a transition between these two here. So if I go up to this top layer, under Effects and Presets here, I can go to Transitions here. Choose a transition here, and let's try one of these. I'm not sure how much I'll like this, but let's try an iris wipe here. We're just going to drop that in here. And then what you do is you open up your layer and you treat your effect like any other transformation. So here you've got your controls there, and then what we're going to need to do is figure out how to get this to go from the regular shot here to, that's kind of interesting, like that, although that's not really the effect I was going for. So let's get rid of that. Let's try it again here. Let's go let's try a radial wipe. Let's see what happens there. So we're going to drag this onto this clip, and we'll go open up effects here and open up radial wipe. Transition completion, we'll start that by keyframing it here. Maybe keep it at that same, at 0 to here. So we'll just have to add a keyframe here. Click that, and then from here to here, the transition should be complete. Okay, so we'll bring that up to 100% and see what that looks like. Okay. Yeah, that was good. I like that. So we can use that. You can make a transition here and there. Let's do one more here. Let's see, maybe between this one and the swimmers, or between the swimmers. I like that. This here, this would be good. That's the end of that clip and the beginning of that one. So we can't really do much there, but what we can do is, let's see, we can bring this one over and then stretch it out a little bit more. Let's make sure it doesn't affect anything in the clip. Perfect. Okay, so now we'll add another transition here onto this one. And let's try a light wipe. That kind of sounds interesting there. Drop that in there. Again, open up the layer, check out our effects here. Light wipe here, completion here. We want to, again, start that at 0 right here. Again, keep it there till about right here maybe. So we'll click another keyframe there. Let's open that up. Another keyframe there. And by the time it gets to here, we'll have it open up to 100% completion. Okay, and let's see what that looks like. Got our wipe there. Yeah, not very impressive there. Let's try another one. Let's get rid of that. Okay, and let's bring that out maybe. Oh no, we can't do that, huh? Bring this over a little bit more. Let's try a different one on this one. So again, let's go for let's try a block dissolve. We'll drop that in here. Again, we're just looking at completion. Let's do 0 right here. And let's see. Block dissolve. Transition. 0 there. Okay. Till about here maybe. Click this here to click another keyframe. And then from here to here, it'll be at 100% completion. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Oh yeah, I like that. So that's something else you can do, is add some transitions to your piece to make things flow better. You don't have to add a transition between every clip, but it might help on a few clips to add a few transitions here and there. Okay, as you can see there, I've added some text. So I'm going to add some text to this. So that's something I recommend you do as well. So basically I put a text layer above my layer, add the words there, and then change the opacity or add effects and whatnot. In this case, I'm just going to add a text layer above my layer. So I'm going to go up to Layer, New, Text, or Control-Alt-Shift-T. And then right here, I'm going to type in my word here. And notice there, nothing happened. Let's try that again. Let's see what's going on here. Experience here, we need to change that. And take a look at our text color as well here. We should have white there, so let's see what's going on. Oh, we're blocked by this other layer, so let's go ahead and bring this up above the other one, and then we'll redo that spelling there. Okay, so we'll have Explore and then Experience come up. And we can also move this too, so we can always position this in a different spot if we need to. We can have it come up here. That might look good right there to fade in. So let's do that, and we'll go ahead and do opacity down to 0. Okay, when that comes down, again, Experience should come up about right there. So we'll have this be at 0 till about right here. So another keyframe there. Then have it come up right here to 100%. And then by the time we get to here, it'll be back down to 0. Let's keep it at 100% till about there. So again, another keyframe there. And then from here to here, it's going to go down to 0. So this is what we have so far. Okay, so we have Explore, Experience, and then here maybe we'll do Enchant, something like that. So let's go ahead and add a text layer to, let's see, where are we? There, right there. So right here we need to add a text layer. And again, we're going to bring this up top. all the text layers need to be on the top so they show up. And we'll have this thing show up. Well, let's type in what we're going to add first. Let's try electrify. That's good. Electrify. Oops. We're going to be on the right layer here. Explore, experience, and then this one will be electrify here. And as always, we need to find a good spot for it. So let's move it around. Maybe down below here. Okay, we don't need to scale it. Maybe about right there. That's good right there. So we'll have it come in there. So starting it off, again, opacity will be down to 0. Just going to watch it from the beginning. Then experience comes up. Then electrify should probably come in about right there. So again, we'll have it down to 0 till about right here. We'll click this other additional keyframe there. And by the time it gets up to here, maybe have it at 100% right here. Okay, and then it should go out about right there. So again, 100% to about right here. Click another keyframe there. And then from here to here, it's going to be down to 0. Okay. All right, let's see what we have so far. Nice. Okay, and then one more. Let's do enchant, maybe. That's a good one. So we'll do another text layer. Okay, and then this one will be enchant. And that'll be easy. We can put it up here in the darker area. Let's grab that. Move our position here. Looks pretty good there. Maybe up just a hair. Right there. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Maybe down just a bit. Like that. Right there. Okay. All right, so let's bring this down. Opacity wise, it's going to be down to 0. And then enchant will come in as electrifies coming out. So again, at the 0% there. And then when we get to about right here, enchant will come up. Or yeah, enchant, sorry. And then let's see, we'll have it to about 100% until right there. And from there to here, we'll have it fade out. Maybe move this over a little bit and then have it go back to 0. And this is what we have thus far. And that's going to be our ending slide. So here we got a little problem here between electrify and enchant. I'm not sure what's going on there. Let's see. So let's open up electrify also. See what's going on there. Okay, so enchant comes in. Oh, okay. It's not bad, actually. Maybe have this one come in a little slower. This one go out a little quicker. Looks pretty good. And then there's our last slide. Then I'll come back and finish off our last slide here. Okay, so so far we've done our blending modes, we've done our transitions, we added our text, and it's looking pretty good. And so the last thing I want to do is add the logo here at the end. I like this globe here, and I like the dark contrast around it, so I don't want to do much around it. So I think I'm just going to have the logo come up maybe in the center of the globe here. And then maybe some kind of a motto. So let's see if we could, let's grab the logo and we'll bring it down to the timeline here. Notice there it's enormous, so I'm going to bring it down in size. Open up the transformation controls here and scale it down. And we're going to start it at 0 here. And we'll just scale it up a little bit. So let's scale. Let's go back to 0. Scale is going to be at 0 here and all the way until to about here. Well, about right there. So again, let's keyframe that again. Click the additional keyframe to keep it at 0% from the beginning to this point. And then at this point, when this is spinning around, the logo is going to come up. I'm not sure how much, but enough to where we can really see it. Something like that. That might look good. Let's see what that looks like. Or better yet, maybe instead of scaling it, we'll just do an opacity change. So let's keep that. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's do an opacity change. I like that idea better. So we're going to get rid of all of these. We're going to scale it back up to 100%. Wrong, sorry. We're going to scale it to whatever, where do we want it to end up? That's a little big there. So let's bring that down. We'll scale it down to about, yeah, that looks good right there. So 16%, and then we'll just have it fade in. So at the scrub key back to 0, bring the opacity down to 0, start the keyframing, and by the time we get to the first, so right there, it should be up to 100% right here. So maybe one frame before that. We'll bring this up to 100%. Oh no, we don't want to do that. Let's bring it to the first frame here. We'll just have it come up right there. So let's see what that looks like now so far. Oops. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. I forgot to add the extra keyframe. So just before that, add an extra keyframe there, and then the next frame it should be up to 100%. Let's see how well After Effects handles that. Perfect.